In 1875, Piedmont Tobacco Warehouse opened on the northeast corner of West 4th and Trade. It was one of the first tobacco warehouses in Winston-Salem. Records from 1898 show that Piedmont Tobacco Warehouse sold more tobacco for more money than any other warehouse in North Carolina. Horse-drawn wagons pulled up to the Trade Street side of the warehouse to unload their tobacco for the auction. After the auction, the same wagons would carry the tobacco to the Winston-Salem manufacturing and processing plants. In 1902, there were 5 tobacco warehouses in Winston, 2 on North Trade Street and 3 on North Main Street. Brown's warehouse was built in the 1870s by Major T.J. Brown on North Main Street. Main Street boasted several livery stables, making it convenient for the tobacco farmers to care for their horses during their stay at the warehouses. Congestion from wagons and cars made Main Street quite a busy street, particularly at market time. Star Tobacco Warehouse was built in 1892 and was also located on North Main Street between 5th and 6th, across from a boarding house. Because tobacco warehouse owners needed income year-round, tobacco warehouses were used for concerts and speakers between tobacco markets. In 1905, Piedmont Tobacco Warehouse was torn down to build the Masonic Temple. The warehouses began to move to the north of the city. Piedmont settled in the 500 block of North Trade. Others moved to the 900 block of North Liberty Street, seeking more floor and parking space. In 1962, there were 12 tobacco warehouses in Winston-Salem. Trucks arrived heavy laden at Cook's Warehouse on Patterson Avenue. Getting tobacco to the warehouse in late summer is actually the end of the story for most tobacco farmers. The tobacco growing process starts as early as January with the purchase of tiny tobacco seeds. The seeds are planted in early February and covered with plastic for protection from frost and to provide moisture to the growing plants. The plants are transplanted in early spring in mounded rows for good drainage. Although tobacco plants love hot days and warm nights, they also need plenty of water for proper growth. When rain is scarce, farmers must irrigate with water from ponds. As the plant grows, it produces a pink and white flower which must be removed or topped so that the plant's energy will go into making the leaves. Farmers check the plants regularly for insects and to monitor growth. When the plant is finally ready to be harvested, the bottom leaves are pulled first. Before farm mechanization, a mule pulled a tobacco sled full of picked leaves from the field to the tobacco barn. Families and neighbors worked together at the tobacco barn to prepare the tobacco for curing. The tobacco was strung onto sticks, and the sticks were hung in the barn for the curing process. The term flue-cured tobacco comes from curing tobacco with heat in pipes called flues. Fires are set in the tobacco barn and fed from outside. The thermometer must be checked regularly to keep a proper temperature over the 8-day curing period. When barns used live fires, someone had to stay up all night to attend the fire. Chicken stew cooked in a large pot over a fire kept everyone fed during the night. When the curing was finished, the tobacco was taken to a pack house, graded, tied into hands, then carried to a tobacco warehouse and unloaded. The tobacco was stacked onto baskets and covered until the auction started. Buyers and auctioneers speak a language all their own to quickly bid on and purchase each pile of tobacco. Warehouse personnel keep the records for what was sold and for what price. Finally, the happy day comes when the farmer gets a check for all his months of hard work. Towns that grew up near tobacco warehouses benefited from the tobacco trade. With their checks in hand, farmers were able to shop for food, clothing, and supplies while they were in town.
The site of the Piedmont Tobacco Warehouse at 4th and Trade is now CVS Pharmacy in the heart of the newly revived 4th Street district. Brown's Tobacco Warehouse was replaced by the downtown garage, then by the R.J. Reynolds Plaza building. Tobacco growing, harvesting, and curing methods have changed over the years, and with farmers selling direct to manufacturers for the most part, the chant of the auctioneer has, at least in Winston-Salem, gone the way of horse-drawn tobacco wagons clogging Main Street.